So we just installed SQL Server 2019, right? Any questions, guys? Any questions in the installation? And I have already uploaded that video in our channel. Okay, so if you go to that, go to YouTube, just type SOSE University and then go to batch 51 playlist. Okay, and then you can see that class 6. Okay, so that is the class 6, guys. You can just check that one. This is our channel and playlists. Right, okay, so here, this is the one. Okay, if you click on this playlist, so you can see the last class 6. Let me check that one. And so this is our class, okay, class 6. Okay, so what you can do, you just watch it, guys, and I have already shared you the softwares. Okay, parallelly you can do the installation and all, okay, using that video. Okay, so again, subscribe to the channel, guys. Whenever I uploaded any video, immediately you'll get the notification. No need to wait for my message or no need to wait for the link. Again, I don't share any links and all after uploading. Just subscribe to it. Automatically you'll get the notification, okay, once any new video is uploaded in the channel. Okay, only few classes, 10 to 15 classes I'll upload in this playlist. Remaining classes I'm going to create a Google Drive account. In that I'll upload the videos and I'll give you the access. Okay, next classes and all, like future classes, you can see in your Google Drive directly. Okay, so lifetime access will be there for the video recordings, guys. Right, so now let me continue to this. Let me go to the server. Okay, and then let me log into the server, guys. 1 minute. Right. Okay, so mostly the same IP address will be there, so I'm not checking the IP address. I hope you can hear me, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, done. So I'm not going to check the IP address. I'll try to connect with the same old IP address. Let's see if it is not able to connect, then I'll check the IP address. Okay, 192.168.137.39. And again, one more thing. Yes, please.
So, did you have to observe when it is going to change IP address, like you are trying the same IP address? So when it is going to change, because you restarted the, or suppose
generally when the network is changed, okay, when the network is changed, when you change it from
network change means suppose I am connecting Wi-Fi and
that's
immediately
what
I will change to mobile data, then it will change the IP,
yes,
right?
it will be changed. Yes. So these
Okay,
things in the morning class we
connecting
discussed
to
these
the-
things.
Okay.
Yeah. So you didn't watch the Salman that video?
Sorry?
You didn't watch that video morning session?
I watched that.
Okay, then we have discussed it, right? All these things, 3 challenges with the virtual machine.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah.
I was just cross checking, or maybe I did not get proper understand. I did.
Yeah, whenever you
Suppose
change
if
the
I'm
network.
reconnecting with the same network, it will not change the IP, right?
Mostly it will not change. Mostly 90% it will not change, but there is a chance to change.
Right, because in future, if we are going to use the same IP, it will be a problem for us, right?
Correct.
That's why I was thinking.
Yes, mostly it will not change, but 90% it will not change. 10% there is a chance it might change.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So few cases like when you restart the Wi-Fi. Okay, so in these scenarios, there is a chance that your IP will be changed. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions, guys, in the morning session? So let me connect to the server first. 1, 2, 3.
And one more silly question, maybe
No problem, no
from
problem.
network side. Yeah.
No problem.
Suppose this is the IP which you are connecting. Can anyone else access this IP and connect?
Publicly, no.
Because,
if you connected to my Wi-Fi, you can access.
Yeah, without your Wi-Fi, because it is connecting to the local your Wi-Fi network, right?
Correct.
So anyone from outside your network, they will not able to hack or connect.
No, you cannot connect. You can still use that. You can see IP address, right? 192.168.137.39. Just open RDP and type this IP address. You cannot.
Shenmukh,
Yes.
just extension to this question.
Yes.
Then through VPN, we can connect.
We can do that, yes, through VPN. VPN means it will help us to create a bridge between your network and my network, right? So it's almost, if you use VPN means you are almost connected to my network only. So you can connect. Okay, if you use VPN, you can connect to my server. Yeah. Guys, nothing to worry. VPN means, yeah, Mohammed, tell me.
Excuse me. So from last class, you showed us that about .NET framework. I was able to install that. Do you need to read any further? I mean,
Not
understand
required.
any?
Guys, you can
Okay.
skip .NET framework. Okay, it's not mandatory for 2019, 2022. If you are using 2012, 2014 and all, it's mandatory to install .NET framework separately. But from 2019 onwards, no need to install .NET framework separately. You can still go ahead to install SQL Server. In case of any such issues, your SQL Server won't proceed. Installation won't be proceed, guys. Okay, why? Because one of the check during the installation, one of the check is .NET framework. So if it is really needed, it don't allow you to install SQL Server. Okay. So if it is allowing means you have already inbuilt .NET framework is installed in your Windows server.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay, fine. So that's fine. Okay. So now let's discuss the other things. Okay, when you just install, we just installed SQL Server. Okay, 2019 in this server, in Windows Server 2019, SQL Server 2019 on Windows Server 2019. Okay. So now I have SQL Server 2019 with me. SQL Server is successfully installed in the machine. Now the thing is, I want to connect to that SQL Server. Okay, I want to connect to that SQL Server. So if I want to connect to that SQL Server means I want to manage the SQL Server. Guys, if I want to manage the VMs, what tool I have, guys? What is the tool I am using to manage the VMs?
Oracle
VM VirtualBox.
Very good. Okay, we are using Oracle VirtualBox Manager, right? This tool is called Oracle VirtualBox Manager. This is just an interface to manage the VMs, right? I can start VMs, I can stop VMs, okay? I can restart VMs, I can do some network settings and all. Using this tool, I can do that. So in the same way, to manage SQL Server also, I need one tool, right? Without a tool, I cannot handle the SQL Server, I cannot connect to the SQL Server, or else I cannot run the queries and all, okay? So I need one tool, right? So what tool we will use to connect to the server, SQL servers?
management.
SSMS.
Correct. Okay. We will use SSMS, guys. SSMS is a client or an application which will help us to connect to the SQL servers. SQL server is an application. So I want to connect to this particular server. So for that, I use one tool or one interface called Management Studio, SSMS SQL Server Management Studio. So earlier versions, like up to 2016, Management Studio is inbuilt, guys. When in the shared features, in the morning we discussed about shared features. There is an option called Management Tools. Okay, there is an option called Management Tools. If you select that Management Tools, automatically SSMS will be installed up to 2016 version, guys, up to SQL Server 2016. From 2017 onwards, or else from 2016 onwards, okay, SSMS is separated, guys. Okay, you have to explicitly install this Management Studio after the installation of SQL Server. Once the SQL Server installation is completed, immediately you have to do one more thing, that you have to install Management Studio. Then only I can connect to the installed instances. Otherwise, I don't have any interface. Now I have already installed SQL Server. Now I want to use SQL Server. How can I use it? How can I use it, guys? Now I want to install Now I want to use the SQL Server. How can I use it? I install, right? In the morning session, we install SQL Server. I want to use it. I want to see. I want to connect to the instance, whatever instance we installed. How can we do that? Using the tool
SQL
called
CMD.
management. We can still use SQL CMD, but it's not GUI. Okay, it's a command prompt option, right? And guys, a SQL Server Management Studio is one option to connect to the instances. Apart from that, we can still use SQL command prompt also. SQL command is a kind of an application. Using command prompt you can connect, but it shouldn't be like a GUI, guys. Okay, if it is GUI, you can do all these things like backups, restores, everything that you can do it using this GUI options. Right click and all, you can do that. You can see all the options. But if it is command, you have to learn all the commands. Without SQL Server Management Studio, I can still connect to the instance, but I should learn all the commands. It should be like using command prompt or using PowerShell. I can connect to the SQL Server, but for that you need queries and all. Okay, you have to remember queries. It's not like GUI. GUI, we need GUI, right? So that's why we have to install SQL Server Management Studio. So once the installation of SQL Server, you have to install one more tool called Management Studio to manage the SQL servers. Okay, so how to install Management Studio? Generally, you can download the Management Studio from the Google, guys. Okay, you have to go to Google. Okay, simply type download SQL Server Management Studio. Just type like this, SQL Server Management Studio. So like how SQL Server is having different versions, Management Studio is also having different versions, guys. This is also one tool, right? So this is also having different versions. Okay. So if you go down, you can see here, the latest version is 19.1. Okay. Just click on this, right? So very simple to download, guys. Done. It was started, guys. Okay. Now you can see, now it is running. Okay. The file size is around 629 KB. Okay. The file size is around 629 KB, guys. Not sure why it is taking this much time. I hope I have already downloaded it. Okay, I'll check that one. Okay. So the file size is around 629 MB, guys. In the organization, they'll ask you guys in the if you go to interviews and all, generally, they'll ask you what is the size of the SSMS. Generally, to check whether you are a genuine DBA or a fake DBA. Okay, so generally fake DBA, they don't observe all these things, right? So genuine DBA means daily or at least weekly or monthly, he'll do the installations. So he'll copy the softwares and all. He'll have an idea how much file sizes like SQL Server software size, what is the size of the SQL Server, what is the size of the SSMS. He'll have an idea. And they'll also sometimes ask the SSMS versions also, what version of SSMS you are using, not SQL Server version. SSMS version also they'll ask. So SSMS versions will be 16 is there, 16 is there, 17 is there, 18 is there, 19 is also there. No need to remember completely, but again, at least when you open SSMS, it will show you the version. So daily you'll open SSMS. If you connect to any server, daily you'll open SSMS and you'll connect to the instances, right? So you can see the version on the screen actually. But fake people, they don't observe all these things. They'll simply okay, tell the SQL Server version. Again, they will repeat. No, I'm not asking SQL Server version. I'm asking SSMS version. Which version of SSMS you're using? If you can't answer, they'll definitely catch you guys. So there is a chance that they might ask you these type of questions also to check whether you're a genuine DBA or fake DBA. Okay, fine. It's almost downloaded. So once it was downloaded, you can copy this Management Studio, okay, to the server, and then you can start installing Management Studio. Installation of Management Studio is very easy. You don't need to select any of the options. There is only one option. Install button will be there. If you click on install button, automatically SSMS will be installed, guys. Okay, so I'll show you. So you just download it, right? So just copy this SSMS, Control C. I'm going to, guys, if you go to the server remotely, if you connected, then only you can do copy paste. Okay, I just connected to the server remotely. Then only I can do right click copy, right click paste. I just copy it, right? So I'm going to paste it here now on the desktop. If you connected directly, you cannot do that. You cannot Copy paste. So for that, there is a solution. I have already gave you SSMS ISO image. Download that SSMS ISO image. What you can do, just go to Oracle VirtualBox Manager and right click and settings and go to storage settings. And then here, instead of in the place of SQL Server, just attach SSMS ISO. It's already there with you in the software links, guys. Okay, you just check it. And one more thing, I just want to update you guys. So you can see two files. Not sure most of you already got the files. Two files. One is software links, another one is notes. Mostly those two files, that mail will be moved to spam. If that mail is moved to spam, you cannot download it. Okay, you cannot download the attachments. Go to that mail. There is an option called, this is not, mark this as a not a spam. There is an option in the Gmail, I'm saying in the Gmail. Mark this as not a spam, or you have to select look safe, or you have to choose move to inbox. Then only you are able to download the files. Okay, guys. So check in your spam. Still, if it is not there, just ping me in the WhatsApp. Okay, I'll check and I'll share the software links and all for you guys. Okay. Check in the spam. I have already shared 1 week before itself. Last week itself, I have already shared. Check in the spam. If it is there, move to inbox immediately. Then only you can download the files. Okay. So in that one document contains the software links, Windows Server software, SQL Server software, SSMS softwares, Oracle VirtualBox software, all these software links you will have. So just copy paste that link in the browser or click on that link, automatically it will redirect you to Google Drive. From there you can download the softwares, guys. Okay, from there you can download the softwares. But again, move that file, move that mail to your inbox, then only you are able to download it. Okay. So some people downloaded 2022. Someone asked, Shanmukh, it is asking Azure integration. Who is that? Pravina? Someone asked in the WhatsApp, Azure integration, what I have to do. For SQL Server 2022, yeah, who is that? Who is that, guys? Someone asked in the WhatsApp. So for, yeah, okay. So for SQL Server 2022, it will ask you for the Azure integration. You have to simply uncheck that button. Don't install 2022. Okay, as of now, don't install 2022. You can install it. The process is same. I told you, right, 1 2 extra screens, you can see, that's it. So what you can do is, if it is showing Azure integration, that optional box will be there. Uncheck that optional box. So you are not going to integrate this instance with Azure. So if you just uncheck that box, automatically you can see the next button and you can proceed to install SQL Server 2022. Okay.
Shanmukh,
Yes, Pooja.
Shanmukh, I tried to download that SSMS, but I'm getting one error. Like it was showing like we can't access this item because of it is in violation of our terms and conditions.
You are downloading in the office laptop or what?
No.
What is the
Personal
terms and
laptop.
conditions? Yeah, share me your screen.
Just
Yeah,
now I
the
downloaded
built
some.
in.
I got it.
Share your screen, Pooja. Is that okay to share your screen?
Yeah, Shanmukh, 1 second.
She don't get that option. Still not sure.
I think the ISO was not. I mean, it may be
Which
corrupted
one?
because I was
Which,
also doing the same.
No.
So I downloaded the
One minute, sir.
SSMS.
Yeah.
I think need to download from Microsoft site only.
Pooja, you are downloading from Microsoft or you are downloading? 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Just a minute. Pooja, from where are you downloading actually? You're downloading from Microsoft?
I downloaded from that. I'm not sure about that.
No. Guys, 1 minute, just 1 minute. Dhananjay, I just muted you, okay? So, no, not this one, Pooja, not this one. Not this
One question, what question, sir?
Pooja,
Hello, sir.
you can stop sharing, okay? You can stop sharing. I'll tell you, Pooja. I'll tell you, okay?
Hello, sir.
Dhananjay, tell me.
Yeah, same question. laptop, sir.
You're also facing same issue.
Yeah. Sir.
You are facing the same issue.
Sharma,
Okay.
problem is ISO file got corrupted. Normal downloaded. I got successfully downloaded and I also SSMS.
Okay. Okay, we'll do one thing, guys. Okay, I'll check with you again, Pooja. Okay, just send me the screenshot. So I can help you on that. In case if that file is corrupted, I'll upload another ISO image so that you can download. Okay, SSMS ISO. Okay, Pooja. Yeah. Guys, don't worry about it.
So
Okay,
that file is not corrupted.
I have. That's what I
that-
have to check the screenshot. The screenshot.
I think that time pop-up is coming sometimes, so we have to click on that. Then it will be downloaded.
Yes. That's what I'll check that one with Pooja. Huh? I'll check and I'll update you guys. Mostly it won't be corrupted and all. Why? Because people are using since batches they are using. I don't think it is corrupted. So I'll check that again. Okay. Sometimes what happened is you have to select looks safe option. So then only it will allow you to download, guys. So that is one thing that I just want to inform you. You have to choose look safe option and all.
Hello. Anna, can I share my screen?
1 minute. What is the problem?
So you have shared the notes, right? In the notes, like upload SSMS ISO image.
Okay.
Okay.
That will be discussed at the end of the session. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll help you on that. Nothing to worry, guys.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Right. So the file was copied, guys, on the desktop. Okay. So this is the file, SSMS setup file. So what, guys, if you are using direct connection, then you can use SSMS ISO image. If you are able to connect to the server remotely, you can directly download SSMS from the Google and you can directly copy. Still, if you are facing issue, there is one more technique also. Okay. Still, if you are facing issue, you can still use latest SSMS. There is one more technique also for that. What you can do is you have to simply use this option guest editions, guys. Oracle VirtualBox guest editions. If you choose this input, you can see, devices. Under devices, you can see insert guest editions CD image will be there. So you have to install guest editions. So once you are able to install guest editions, then you are able to copy from local to server, guys. Okay. I'll tell you that option as well. I'll tell you that option as well in any of your machines. Okay. So now let's go to this server. Let's install SSMS, guys. How to install SSMS? This is the setup file, right? Right click, run as administrator. You don't get any other controls, guys. You will just only one control, that is install button. Just click on the install button. I'm sorry, so that it will be installed automatically, guys. Okay, it will be installed automatically. There will be no other options. Like in the morning, lot of options are there for SQL Server installation. Okay, but for SSMS, nothing to worry. Only one button called install button. Okay, you have to simply select that install button. Automatically, Management Studio will be installed, guys. Okay, right. So let's wait for a minute. It is still loading, I guess. Yeah, now you can see, right, install button. Just install, guys. Sometimes after installation also, what people will do to open SSMS, they will double click on this. Okay, sometimes after installation of SSMS, to open SSMS, they will double click on this. So now you just saw install button, right? In the place of install button, you can see repair button, repair and close button. Then you will ping me, Shanmukh, it is not showing install button, it is showing repair button and all. If you already installed, again, if you clicked on the SSMS setup file, you can see repair button. Means if you are trying to install second time, already first time it was installed, you are trying to install second time, then it will show you repair button, guys. Sometimes it will show you restart button. In the place of install, it will show you restart button. Restart means what? After the installation of SSMS, you have to restart the Windows server. So in case there is a chance that you can see install button, a repair button, a restart button. Install button, when you can see, when you're installing for the first time, you can see install button. Repair button, when you can see if you're trying to install second time, even though first time SSMS is successfully installed, in that case, you can see a repair button. A restart button, if the server is looking for restart, if server is pending with restart, then you can see restart button, guys. These are the three options you can see. So only once we will install, no need to install multiple times, guys. Okay. Chalo. Once it was installed successfully, then I'll open SSMS and I'll show you how to connect to the servers, guys. So in the meantime, let's discuss these things. When you install SQL Server, internally what will happen? What and all changes will be there in the Windows machine? What and all folders will be created? What and all services will be created? Okay, we'll discuss those things, guys, in the meantime. When you install SQL Server, generally, okay, how many services will be created? First, we'll discuss the services, then we'll discuss the folders. Guys, when you install any software, generally, on behalf of that software, some services will be installed. That is the Windows operating system architecture. When you install the SQL Server, okay, not only SQL Server, any software, if you install Avesta antivirus, you install VLC media player, you install some other softwares, okay. Whenever you install any software, some services will be installed, guys. These services only will run in the back end, then only the software will work. If the services are not running, the softwares won't work, guys. So the respective services has to run in the back end. Then only the respective applications or softwares will work. Okay, guys. In the same way, when you install SQL Server, right, when you install SQL Server, some services will be installed in the backend, guys. Okay. So what and all services will be installed? Where I can see those services. Okay. Open run in the server. To see all the services, we have one tool called services.msc. We have an application called services. How to open that application? Using services.msc shortcut. Okay. Services.msc. So just type services.msc in the run. Then you can see the services, not only SQL Server, all the services, right? Lot of applications are running in my Windows machine, right? Each application will have its own services, right? So you can see all the services that are running in the Windows machine. See, these are all the services that are currently running in the Windows machine. When you install SQL Server, some of the services will be installed. So how to check that one? Select any of the service, make sure they are in alphabetical order. If they are not in alphabetical order, click on the name once, automatically it comes in alphabetical order. Then select any service, just hit yes. Just hit yes, you can see all the services with yes letter. SQL Server, right? Yes, right? Go down, see here. Okay. So how many services you can see here, guys? How many services you can see here? 1 minute. Huh? It's okay, Verma. Yeah, that's not an issue. Okay. So I just want to show you one thing where I'm able to see this screen share. Yeah. Yeah, this one I need. No. Let me go to this server. Okay. Right. Now got it. Okay, if you see here, guys, see from this section to this section. Okay, you can see, right? You can see, otherwise let me select only this section. Okay. Right. How many services installed, guys, with SQL? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 services. When you install SQL Server for the first time, 6 services will be installed, guys. Okay, when you install SQL Server for the first time, 6 services will be installed. Now my question is, I installed one instance, right? So I got 6 services. If I installed one more SQL Server, how many total services I can see, guys, here? How many total services I can see?
7.
Sorry, 7 services. Guess it, guys. Sorry, not getting your.
I think services are the same. Just will add.
I think we can't install one more server.
Huh? What, Praveen?
I think we can't install one more SQL server.
Okay, very good, Praveen. Okay,
9
I'll
services.
I'll give you an assignment, Praveen, to you. Okay, chalo, right, Praveen?
Sir, 9 services. 9.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll give you one. Only this is for Praveen. I encourage you guys, Praveen. First of all, I encourage you, at least you're opening the mouth. Okay, I'm happy for that. But again, I don't entertain silly things and all. Okay, so in the morning we discussed we can install 50 instances in the machine. Now you are saying I don't think we can install one more SQL Server. Instance means server only, right? Right, Praveen?
Yes, yes. Correct.
What is meant by instance? Instance means one SQL Server, right?
Okay.
Okay, so what we can do, we can install 50 SQL servers in one Windows machine. You have to write down this for 10 times. So, and once this is done on the paper, don't type it on the paper, write down this line for 10 times and send me the screenshot by tomorrow. Okay, don't think this is a punishment. No, it's not a punishment. This is just an assignment. Okay, this is very important, guys. Why? Because you are going to try as a 4 years, 5 years experience in DBAs, and we have already discussed this point in the morning class. And if you're again, like by mistake in the interview, if you said the same thing, that's it. They don't ask next question also. Okay, so write it down for 10 times and send me that screenshot, Praveen. Fine, is that okay?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sir, 9 services.
9 services.
Yeah.
Guys, tell me, guys, just guess it. Okay, guess it.
Only 2 be added. DB engine and agent.
See, this is for one instance, 6 services. I got it, guys. When I install SQL Server for the first time, I got 6 services. Okay, if I install one more instance, total how many services I can see? 8. Guess it, guys. I need answers.
10 or 12.
I need answers from everyone. I need answers from everyone. Just type your answers in the chat. Type your total services. Type your answer in the chat.
I was wrong.
No. I just type your answers in the chart. Total how many services I can see if I install second instance.
8.
Okay. No, type your answer in the chart. Total how many services I can see. Just type your answer in the chart.
Open like this.
Okay, thank you. Guys, type your answers, guys. Type your answers. I got only 14 responses. Total how many services I can just guess it. No issues, guys. I don't give any assignment on this. Okay, if we have already discussed and if you tell the wrong answer, then only I'll give the assignment. Okay, and that too very basic mistakes. If you do, I'll give the assignment. Type your answers, guys. No. Okay, so I got 18 responses. That's fine. 19 responses, guys. So let's see, 20. So that's fine. Okay, I'm going to open the answers. Perhaps Vigvesh said perhaps 9, 4, Shabir, current 6, 4 will, okay, very good, Shabir. Sanwar, bye. Sanwar 8, Pradeep 12, Digvesh 10, Mohammed 8, Kiran 6 plus 6, Sidling 12, Chandu 12, Salman 12, Praveen 6, Sagar Desai 6 plus 3, Anup Tiwari 8, Mohammed 9, 4 plus 4, Shabir. Shabir, why you changed the answer again? You said earlier you said 4 plus 4. Again, you just added one more.
I think it will not understand my counts.
Yes,
26 and
yes. Sarvashwa 10 to 12. So you are giving a range to me. Venkat 8 and Vibhuti Singh 10, Shivkumar 7, Shabir 4. Why there is no ladies participation here? You can see everyone is, all the gents only responded, no ladies participation. Okay. D service will be always if you do want to registration. Okay. So now let me tell you guys, okay? Some of you answered correctly, like only 2-3 people answered correctly, guys. Okay. Right. So let me show you. You can tell the answer from the screen itself. You can tell the answer from the screen itself. Think logically. Think logical. Okay. So out of 6, how many services are having name in the brackets? How many services are having name in the bracket? Right. Right. 2 services, they don't have any name in the brackets. That means what?
They are shared services.
They are system services.
Shared services. Okay. So now everyone is system service only. So when you install SQL Server, specific services will be installed and shared services will be installed. So how many specific services will be installed? 4 specific services will be installed for every instance. And how many shared services will be installed? 2. Shanmukh, how can you tell specific and shared? Very simple. If you are staying in PG, we will have a habit of writing our names on our belongings, right? Right? So if the name is there on your belonging, that means that belongs to you. Right? At least whatever we can say, at least one mark will be there. For example, we are using our own plate, our own glass. We will have some marks. Make sure it is not going to, okay, used by others and all. So if you see name in the brackets, that is specific service. If you don't see any name, that is shared service. Shared services will be installed only once, guys. We discussed in the morning, right? Shared services will be installed only once per Windows machine. Okay, shared services will be installed only once per Windows machine. Specific services, how many specific services you can see? 4 extra specific services you can see. That means when you install second instance, these 2 won't be installed again. Why? Because they are shared. Every instance will use these 2 services. Okay. So browser service will be there only once per Windows machine. Right. So when you install one more SQL Server, 4 more services will be added to the existing services. So already 6 services are there, plus 4 more will be added. 6 plus 4, total 10 services will be there. Those who said 10 is the correct answer. Okay, so someone said 8, someone said 12, someone said 10 to 12. Okay, so the correct answer is, first time it will create 6 services. Out of 6, 4 are specific, 2 are shared. Next time when you install second instance, only 4 more will be added. Why? Because 4 are specific services, guys. And I told you MS SQL, if you see in the brackets, that means which instance, guys, this is? If you see MS SQL Server as a name, what
Default.
type of instance?
Default instance.
Very good. Okay. MS SQL Server means it's a default instance, guys. MS SQL Server means it's a default instance. Okay. So like this, guys, is it clear? Now tell me, if I installed 5 instances total, how many services I can see? Now type your answers in the chart quickly. 5 instances are there in the Windows machine. Total, how many services I can see? Type your answers. Quickly type your answers in the chart. Total 5 instances installed in the Windows machine. Total, how many services I can see in the services.msc? You can easily tell the answer, guys.
In the morning, you told that you will discuss about SOSE account today evening class.
Yeah, we'll discuss. Nothing to worry with it. Okay, we just 1 hour passed. We have 1.5 hour more. Okay, so nothing to worry. We'll discuss. Right, I got 21 answers. Very good. Okay, so good participation. Let me check the answers now. So the answer is generally 5 instances, right? Every instance, 4 services, 4 specific services. So 5 into 4, 20 plus 2, 22 is the correct answer. So yes, everyone said correct answer. Digvesh said 27. Not sure how it is 27. Digvesh, can you explain how it is 27?
No,
Or by
actually,
mistake?
I just by mistake I have just
Okay,
taken.
done.
After that, I have write it down like sorry,
Okay.
it's 22.
Yes, got it. Yeah. Good, guys. Okay, total 22 services I can see, guys. So this is the main service. You have to understand the meaning of these services. This is the main service. Out of 6 services, database engine service. This is called database engine. SQL server. Just SQL server will be there. In the brackets, instance name will be there. If you see other services and all, you can see there is a names, okay, SQL full text, SQL Server agent, SQL Server browser, SQL Server CIP, SQL Server VSS writer. But if you see only SQL Server, there is no other extensions and instance name. This is the main service, guys. If this is not running, your SQL Server is not running, guys. Okay. If this is not running, your SQL Server is not running. Not sure why it is not running. Okay. Now I'll tell you, okay, it is not running, right? If you see here, it is not running actually. Okay. I can see the status in the status column. Currently, it is not running. And what is the status of my yeah? So if you see here, SSMS installation is succeeded. And if you see here, it is showing restart button. I have to restart the Windows machine, guys. Okay, so let me restart. Then only I can connect. I can use the Windows. I mean, what is that? SQL Server, guys. I can use SQL Server. I can connect to the SQL Server. Okay, so once it's back, again we'll connect, guys. Okay, fine. So now what we can do, I'll tell you one simple tip. Okay. Right. Let it be back, guys. We'll discuss the other things. I'll tell you the tip as well. Okay. So after this services discussion, I'll show you the folders, how many folders and all will be created. Okay. When you install SQL Server. Then after that, we'll discuss service account. Okay. How to change the service account. Right. So that also will be discussed, guys. Remaining things and all will discuss the next session, which is tomorrow morning. Okay. So just a minute, let me check whether it is back or not. We can see from here, it's currently restarting.
Sir, one question I have.
Yes,
like
yes,
we are
please.
installing SQL Server Management Studio with Azure Studio, Azure Data Studio. And earlier we have just used like a SQL Server Management Studio only. So what is the difference between those three only?
Where is that Azure Studio?
Like we are installing like Management Studio with Azure Data, something written there, no?
Where it was
We're just
mentioned?
installing.
Where it was mentioned?
When you started to install the SSMS tool, in that screen it's showing SSMS with the SQL Azure Studio.
There are
Yes, right.
few features added in the latest Management Studio, but generally, when you check the old Management Studio, you can see only one option, like in the authentication modes, you can see one option. But what Microsoft is planning, okay, it is trying to integrate the future versions or latest versions with the Azure as much as it can. Why? Because Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft Azure, both are from same vendor, which is Microsoft. So Microsoft aim is it will slowly try to integrate on-premises with Azure as much as it can. And even though if you see SQL Server 2022, it will prompting us to integrate with the Azure. Okay. So in the latest versions of Management Studio, there are some extra features related to Azure that you can use Azure Active Directory authentication to connect to the SQL servers. So few features are added in the Management Studio. So that's why it is showing Azure integration. Okay. But we don't use any Azure integration and all. We don't use any Azure integration. I'll show you after the once the server is back, I'll show you where we can see that features and all Azure related features, Azure related controls where we can see. I'll show you. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. So I have already installed 2014 SQL Server. So I just need to uninstall that to install 2019.
Actually, not required. There is a separate discussion on the Management Studio. Mostly, if possible, today I'll take it. So, for example, now I'm using SQL Server 2019. So I just installed one SSMS. Now tomorrow I'll install SQL Server 2022. Again, do we need to install one more SSMS, guys? Or already in the same Windows machine, SQL Server 2014 is running. Can I use my new Management Studio to connect to the old SQL servers? So a lot of questions are there, right, related to Management Studio. So there is a separate class. Most probably today I'll start or tomorrow morning I'll start on Management Studio. So that we'll discuss all these things. Do we need to install multiple Management Studios? Or if multiple Management Studios are there, when I type SSMS, which Management Studio will open? Can I use the same Management Studio to connect to multiple versions of SQL servers? All these things will be discussed, okay?
Okay, sure.
So now the server is back. So now don't click on this. If you click on this, what you can see now, you'll get repair option, guys. So people will do these mistakes again to open SSMS. They will again open the setup file. This is setup file. Again, you are trying to open the setup file. So that's why you can see repair option here. I'll show you that as well. So now I want to open Management Studio. How to open Management Studio? Click on Windows button. You can see SQL Server Management Tools. You can see SQL Server Management Tools. You can see here. Okay. Here it is not showing. Yeah, on the top it will show you one more folder. Azure Data Studio also installed. Okay. So if you see here, 1 minute, you can see repair button here. People will ping me, Shanmukh, it is not showing install button, it is showing repair button and all. So generally, this is how you will get the repair button, guys. And this is like it is.
Sir, why it is showing repair button?
That's what, sir. That's what we are discussing. Again, you opened SSMS setup file, which is already installed. We are discussing that since 10 minutes. Again, you're asking why it is showing repair button. When you open setup file again, you have already installed SQL Server Management Studio, but still again you open setup file, right? Then it will show you repair button.
Okay.
Okay. So you just close it. Don't open Management Studio like this. There are different options you can use to open Management Studio. Just click on this Windows button. Just type. You can see here Microsoft SQL Server 2019, right? You can see not this one. Tools. Just click on this. See here. If you just select this Microsoft SQL Server Tools, you can see Management Studio. This is one option to open Management Studio. Or just hit the Windows button and type SSMS. Okay. So if you type SSMS, generally you will get the Management Studio, guys. Mostly you will get it. Okay. So it will show you the Management Studio and all. If you type SSMS, okay, you can see here SQL Server Management Studio. So generally in earlier versions, you can open, run and type SSMS in earlier versions like 2008, 8 or 2005, not 2005 different Management Studio. I mean, different shortcut is a SQL WB. From 2008, 8 or to 12, 14, 16, you can use SSMS in the run itself. But if you type SSMS in the run, you don't get this. Okay, where you have to type it, you have to simply type in the Windows button, just type SSMS. You'll get this. Okay. So this is called Management Studio. You can open Management Studio like this. Okay, you can open Management Studio like this, guys. Let it be. Let it open. So here, when you see this services.msc again, Control A, services.msc. Okay, let me close this window. Yeah, services.msc. Right. So here you can see the services. I told you, right? This is the main service. This is the database engine service. So if this is not running, see now you can see it is running, guys. Okay. If you see here, it is running. Some of the services are running, some of the services are not running. So if you see here, generally browser service, generally it won't run in the organization also. It will be in disabled state only. Okay. So slowly you'll get to know what and all services will do. So main service is database engine service. Okay. Yeah, this is only going to use to run the SQL server. This is the main service, guys. SQL server, in the brackets you can see the instance name. This is called database engine service. If SQL server is working, means this is up and running, guys. Okay. If this service is down, if this service is not running, that means your SQL server won't work. So this is the main service, guys. Suddenly, or sometimes if you're unable to connect to the instance, okay, you're unable to connect to the instance, okay. So in that case, you have to check whether this service is up and running or not. Main service is this only. So you have to check this service is up and running or not. Sometimes you have to restart the SQL server. Someone will ask you, hey, can you please restart the SQL server? How to restart the SQL server? Go to services.msc, check the main service, right click, you can restart the service. This is how generally you can do that. Sometimes see, wantedly I'm stopping this, wantedly I'm stopping, or else let me show you this one. This is Management Studio, right? I opened, so now I'm able to connect to the Management Studio. Now, if I want to connect to the default instance, I installed the default instance, right? So here, when you open Management Studio, you can see this pop-up. Server type, what you want to connect. You can see different components like database engine, analysis services, reporting services, integration services, Azure SSIS integration runtime. Okay. We don't use these things and all. Generally, if you install analysis services, reporting services, integration services and all, so we have to choose these things. But if we want to connect to database engine, that means if we want to connect to SQL server, then we'll choose only database engine service. Okay. So 99% as a DBS will connect to database engine only. Our work will be there on database engine only. Is this clear, guys? So we'll always connect to database engine only. Right. Next, it will ask you the server name. Why? Because I can install 50 instances. So imagine my class 50 people are there. If I want to identify, I should know their names, right? If I want to call anyone, I should know their names. Without knowing their names, how can I call? I cannot call, right? In the same way, imagine I can install 50 instances in this box. So I have to give the server to which server you want to connect. So this is your server name. Why it is showing like this, guys? What is this name? Can anyone identify this name? What is this name? What is this name, guys?
Machine name. Machine name.
Machine.
What is this name, guys?
Windows machine.
Yes, this is Windows machine name. So if you don't know what is the server name and all, you can click on browse for more. You can see different options. You can expand database engine and you can choose this name again. Same Windows. This is actually correct. This is the default instance.
But during installation, we have set the MS SQL.
That's what I'll tell you. Okay. So when you install default instance, okay, automatically the services and folders will be created with the name of MS SQL server. That's what I told you in the morning. Also, I told you this point. If you are able to see MS SQL server, that means that is default instance. But while connecting, you cannot give MS SQL server. It don't allow you. Okay. If you click connect, it don't allow you. You will get the error. The services and the folders will be created with the MS SQL server name. Instead of computer name, you can see MS SQL server name. That means that is a default instance. But while connecting, you have to give Windows server name only, host name only. You cannot give MS SQL server. Okay, it will throw you the error. I'll show you that error also. You'll get big error. See, a network related error. Okay, or instance specific error occurred while establishing a connection to the SQL server. The server was not found or was not accessible. Verify that the instance name is correct. Verify that the instance name is correct and that the SQL server is configured to allow remote connections. So this is what it is saying, guys. So you cannot use MS SQL server while connecting. You have to use computer name. Okay, fine. So I can get the computer name from the drop down. I can use this computer name. This is actually a computer name. So what is the command we will use to find the computer name, guys? Command.
Host name.
Host name. Okay. So we'll use hostname as a command to find the computer name, guys. So this is my computer name. I can just click on, and one more thing. So during the installation, we discussed different types of authentications, right? So in the morning, just now someone asked, right, Azure integration. So earlier versions of Management Studio, you don't see these options. Okay, Azure Active Directory, Universal with MFA, multi-factor authentication. MFA means multi-factor authentication. Azure password, Azure Active Directory password, Azure Active Directory integrated. So these are the Azure Active Directory. So that's what I'm saying. Microsoft is trying to integrate the current versions or future versions to the Azure. So that's why you can see these many options. But for the older versions like 2016, 2014 and all, you can see only these two options, guys. These two options, Windows Authentication and SQL Server Authentication. So I'll tell you the difference between Windows and SQL Authentication in the security class. At this moment, I am not going to discuss, it will confuse you. So in the security, we have separate classes on security. What is SQL Server security? What is authentication? What is authorization? How many types of authentications are there? How Windows Authentication will work? How SQL Server Authentication will work? How to give access on servers? How to give access on database? How to give access on tables? Okay, what are the server roles we have? What are the database roles we have? What are the different types of permissions we have? What is meant by grant, with the grant, deny permissions? All these things will be covered in the security sessions. Okay, as of now, I'm going to use Windows Authentication. Anyone remember this account? Where we have seen this account name? Anyone
during
remember?
the installation, right?
Good. Okay, during the installation,
When we were adding the current user.
Correct. Add current user screen. In the authentication, when you select add current user, it will come along with the computer name, your computer name /administrator. So I have already added this account in the SQL Server, right, during installation, right? During installation, I have added this account. So then only I can connect to the SQL Server. Otherwise, no one can connect to the SQL Server. Okay, if they are not added during the installation. Even though you are a company CEO, if your account is not present in this list, okay, in the logins list, you cannot connect to the SQL Server, guys. These things will be discussed and covered in the security session again, so nothing to worry. So this is how we can connect to the instance. This is called Management Studio interface. And using this tool, we can connect to the existing instances or running instances. Okay, we can connect to the running instance. If the SQL Server is not running, I cannot connect, guys. Let me show you now. So SQL Server is in stopped state, guys. Imagine, wantedly I'm stopping. How to stop? You can just click on select the service, click on this one, or right click on the service, you can stop the instance. Wantedly, when you are stopping the instance, it will prompt you to stop the agent also. So if you click yes, SQL Server and agent services will be down, guys. Okay. So now it was down. Okay. So now I'm trying to connect to the same instance again. Okay. So after some time, you can see this play button will become red color icon. Okay. Stop button, guys. So this is the connect button. This is the connect button. Like this, you can see a plug-in kind of thing is there, right? A plug kind of thing. So charger kind of icon. This is called connect button. I can use this control to connect to one more instance. You can use one Management Studio to connect to multiple instances. You can use, see here, it was converted to red color. Why? Why? Because SQL Server is stopped. If I want to disconnect, select the instance, disconnect the instance. So guys, tell me, if you disconnect the instance, anything will happen to the SQL Server, guys? If you disconnect the instance, anything happen to SQL Server?
No.
No.
Oh,
Can we disconnect this SQL Server from Management Studio?
no.
We cannot
No.
disconnect.
No, sir.
Can we disconnect SQL Server from Management Studio?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Can you stop service? Then it will be.
We have to stop the server, huh? Otherwise we
No.
cannot
No,
disconnect.
We can directly
No, we
disconnect.
can directly.
Okay, done. So guys, this is just a tool I told you, right? Using this Management Studio, I can manage multiple instances. If you have work, you will connect to the instance. If a work is completed, you will disconnect from the instance. So disconnect is kind of just you are coming out from the server. That's it. Disconnect means you are not stopping the server. You are just coming out from the server. You are not using that server. So that's why you can disconnect it. Your work is completed, then you can disconnect from the server. Nothing will happen if you disconnect. I am trying to connect to the same server again. Guys, tell me, can I connect to the server now? Tell me, guys, guess it. Quickly guess it.
No.
No,
No,
because
no.
the service has stopped.
Very good. Okay. So I cannot connect. I cannot connect to the server. Why? Because when it is up and running only, I can connect, guys. If the server is down or if the server is not running, I cannot connect to the SQL server. Okay. 1 minute. Right. Okay. So now see, you are getting the error. I cannot connect. What it is saying. Okay. So service is not running, guys. So if services are down, I cannot connect. So if you want to connect, you have to turn on the service. Which service you have to turn on? This is the main service. You have to turn on this service. Okay, right click start will help you to start the SQL server. So I told you, right, SQL Server Database Engine is the heart. After that, agent service also will be there. You can still start the agent service from here as well as Management Studio also. But main is this service. Yes, please.
Sir, can you explain all the 6 services?
I'll tell you, sir. I'll tell you. Okay, I'm explaining the same, right?
Shanmugh, actually you have stopped only the main database engine service. Why the SQL Server agent also has been stopped?
Why? Because agent is a dependent service of database engine. Okay, so agent is the there is a dependency for agent service. Agent will always depends on database engine. Only agent. Remaining services will run independently. But agent will depends on database engine. Without database engine, agent cannot run. So that's why when you stop the SQL Server, agent also will be down. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So now I just started the instance, right? SQL Server instance. Now I just started the SQL Server instance. Now I am able to connect to the server again. If I click connect, now I am able to connect. But if it is not started, or if you got the error like this in the just now in the previous screen, you can see a big error, right? 4 or 5 lines of error. So if you see that error, okay, that means the server is not running or there is an issue with the SQL server. So database engine is the main service to connect to the SQL server. If you are unable to connect to the SQL server, means the database engine is not running. Clear, guys? Is it clear?
Just I have one question, Shanmugh.
Please.
If our default instance is not running, okay, so we have more than 4 or 5 instances there.
Okay.
But default instance is not running. So can we connect SSMS?
See, we can connect SSMS to other instances what are running. Running instances you can always connect, but you cannot connect to default instance.
Okay.
Okay. So you can use why? Because this SSMS is not only for default instance. You can connect default instance, you can connect named instance also, right? So you can use the SSMS, but you cannot use your default instance to connect. You can use your named instances to connect. Okay. This is how it will work. Yeah. So this is the database engine service, which is the heart of the SQL Server or brain of the SQL Server. Like this, we just discussed. And full text in the morning, we discussed full text service will help you to search the data quickly. Agent service will help you to manage the automation. Automation means
Sir, full text again not audible.
full text will help you to search the data.
Sort the data means, can you give me an example?
I'll tell you. Okay. So in future, you will get to know. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll use where conditions and all. So searching means like kind of filtering. I'll tell you. So you will use queries and all, right? There you will get to know. Okay. You don't worry about the full text and all. Yeah. Agent service will help you to manage the automation, guys. To manage the automation. Automation means I want to automate the backups. Yeah, I want to automate the backups. Why? Because hundreds of databases will be there. So you have to take multiple backups every time regularly. So it's very difficult. You have to manage hundreds of servers. If you ask me, Shanmukh, how many servers will manage in the organization? Depends, guys. Depends. In the interview, they'll ask you this question: how many servers are there in your project? So what to tell? Tell me, guys. If anyone is asking how many servers are there in your project, what you will tell? Tell me, guys. I just want to check what answer you are going to give. How many servers are there in your project? What is your answer? Guess it. No issues. No issues.
3 to 4
Three.
server like
Three servers, web
Three
server,
servers.
application
Web
server,
server,
and
application
SQL.
development server.
Okay. 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 Fine. Any other answers?
Sir, it depends on environment to environment. In some applications, there are two servers. In some applications, there are servers. So
Right.
we can't.
Yeah.
We can't imagine, sir.
No need to imagine, just rough answer. But that's okay. Your answer is correct. Okay. So Kiran said 1,000 to 2,000. Venkat said 500 to 1,000. Vibhuti said 3 server web server applications. I'm not asking this web server application server DB server and all. I'm asking how many SQL servers you are using. They don't ask you anything about web server application servers, guys. That is not in our visibility. That will be under different teams' visibility. He is asking, the interviewer is asking, how many SQL servers are using in your organization project? I can say in your project, how many SQL servers you are using. So someone said, right? No, Praveen. Again, you don't confuse here. I'm not asking how many SQL servers we can install. How many SQL servers you are using in your project. Okay. How many servers are in your project? How many servers are there? Like this, they are going to ask you. Okay. So depends on the project, guys. Depends on the project. Some projects will have with 5 servers, 10 servers also. Some projects will have 500 servers. Some projects will have 1,000 servers. Some projects will have 2,000 servers. Some projects will have 5,000 servers. Okay. Some projects will have 10,000 servers also. Okay. So depends upon the project to project. Shanmukh, what we have to tell in the interview? Okay, you can tell anything between 200 to 500, guys. Don't tell 1,000, 2,000 and all. They don't believe. Don't tell 5 servers, 10 servers and all. They might think, okay, you worked on 5 servers, 10 servers means you don't get any great challenges to handle. So you don't have good subject and all. They will think in that way. So you can choose any figure between 200 to 500 servers. Okay, you can choose any figure. Guys, I am supporting 7,500 servers in my environment. We are supporting 7,500 servers. If I tell this answer in the interview, he will be shocked. How come you are supporting 7,500 servers? They don't believe. They will treat me as a fake guy. Some projects are there with thousands of servers, guys.
Sir, can I say like that 2, 3, 4? Because
yes.
because I have never seen like that.
I know some
10
projects
or 15 also.
I know some projects. Lot of our students, lot of my students are working on 20 servers project, 30 servers projects, 5 servers project. I know one guy is working with 3 servers project. Just 3 servers will be there in the whole project. Means very small application.
Because I am in banking sector, sir.
Banking sector, any
4 or 5 years.
Definitely.
Only 2. I have seen only 2.
2 means what?
2 means per server, mostly 2 database, 2 or 3 database like that.
No, I'm not telling about databases. Database is different. I'm telling about SQL instances.
Yes, sir.
SQL instances
yes,
and that
sir.
too. I am not telling about
also
per Windows machine. I am not saying per Windows machine. Across the project, only 2-3 servers will be there. 2-3 SQL servers will be there.
Yes, sir.
Across the whole project, 2-3 SQL servers will be there. I'm not, guys, again, I'm not saying per Windows machine. Okay. Across the whole project, 2-3 SQL servers they are going to use. Some organizations will use 200 servers, 300 servers, 500 servers, 800 servers, 1,000 servers, 2,000 servers. Depends upon the project it will define, guys. Okay, so if there is a requirement, they're going to definitely install one more new instance. Based on the requirements, they're going to install, guys. Like this, we are supporting 7,500 SQL servers in our environment. We are supporting multiple internal applications, multiple external applications we are supporting. Each application we will use 4 to 5 servers. So depends upon the applications count, servers count also will increase, guys. Okay.
So Shanmugh,
yes.
So one instance, one database server, what is the recommendation based on your experience? How many database we can create in one particular instance?
See, the maximum maximum count is 32,000 databases we can create. Again, this will be discussed in the database class. 32,767 we can create. The maximum count is, yes. Okay, but generally
in real life, you know,
we will use mostly in any organizations. Most of the servers will be like less than 20 databases. Some servers will have 20 to 50 databases. Rarely we can see more than 100 databases in each SQL server.
Because we need to make sure about, and we need to more, make more understandable to the customer that every database will not reside on one server, because memory and CPU, it will take huge resource use.
That's what. So generally less than 20 databases will be there in every SQL server. You can again create up to 32,767 databases. Okay. And very rarely you can see more than 100 databases in one SQL server. Very rarely. Okay. So these things again will be discussed in the database class. Maybe tomorrow evening we'll discuss about the databases and all. So there will be discussed, guys, these things and all again. Okay. Right. So this is my agent service. Agent service is responsible for the automation. Okay. And let's go to the break after 4 minutes. 8:30 we'll go for the break, guys. We'll discuss other things. Okay. So browser service will help you to connect to the servers remotely. It will help you, okay, to detect the servers in the network, guys. So this is the use of the browser service. We'll discuss these things. VSS writer. Okay, so CEIP service also kind of same thing. So I'll tell you what the CEIP service will do. Okay, so I'll explain, guys, about the CEIP service. And VSS writer, this is a kind of a service which will help us to write the data to the disks and all. VSS writer is a service which will help the data, like we want to write the data to the disk, right? When we are doing insert operations and all, insert queries and all. So we'll use this service. This service should be always up and running. Okay, so this is responsible to write the data, guys. Okay, so these are the main services that will be used or that will be created when you install the SQL server. Okay, so these things you have to keep in mind. Mostly they don't ask, but database engine is main, guys. Why we are discussing means when SQL server, when you are unable to connect to SQL server, if you are getting any errors while connecting, so make sure the SQL server is up and running or not. If it is not running, you will get the error. So try to start the SQL server and then you can connect to the SQL server, guys. Okay. So for this purpose, so we discuss this database engine service. Yeah, tell me.
Shanmugh, VSS writer will also help third-party backup tool to take the backup and save it to the...
Correct. That is also an important feature of VSS writer. It will help us to, for the backup tools. Okay, Commvault backup tool like this. So it will help us that's what, for writing purpose, whether it is a data or it is backups and all. Backup is also data, right? So for writing purpose, generally VSS writer will be used. Right?
If the browser,
I'll tell you. I'll explain. Okay, you don't worry about the browser. I'll tell you how browser will be helpful. Generally, it will be helpful in the remote. Okay. So I'll show you when we can see when you have multiple servers. Okay. When you have multiple servers, if the browser service is enabled, you can see that server in the network. If the browser service is not enabled, you cannot see that server in the network. So for security purpose, okay, people cannot see the servers in the network, right? So generally browser service will be in stopped state. If browser service is up and running, that will be visible to everyone. So for the safe side, for the security purpose and all, people generally, they will disable the browser service, and browser service will be in stopped state. Generally 90% of the servers, browser service will be in stopped state only. If browser is up and running, there will be a visibility to the instance name to the public. So that's why for safe side, for security and all, browser service will be in stopped state. Okay. Right. So,
hi, Shanmugh.
Yes, please.
When the server is down, can we restart it directly, or
Yes,
any permissions required?
Permissions, see, you will have permissions as a DBA, you are the local administrator. Okay. So you will have the permissions to restart. But the thing is, before restarting, Salman, I'm going to give the break now. It's 8:30, right? So it's not again after 45 minutes, no need to take any break. Okay, so we can close the session. So we'll go for a break. Okay, so after this discussion, and then we'll discuss other things. Yes, Ramya. So the thing is, generally you can start. You will have permissions to start the SQL server, but here few cases are there. If SQL server is stopped and disabled, you can see the status here. If it is disabled and all, that means someone wantedly stopped the SQL server. In that case, before starting, check with the team why it was disabled, why the service is disabled. Someone wantedly kept it in the disabled state. Whether anyone is going to stop the instance wantedly, check with them, then you can take decision. It's actually a good question. Okay, so to understand this, you need more knowledge. Permissions wise, you will have permissions to start. But the thing is, generally it will be in automatic only. If it is in disabled state, wantedly someone kept it in the disabled state during a decommission of the servers. So what we can do, if you see disabled state, you have to cross check with your team that why it was disabled. Is anyone disabled wantedly? So that if anyone wantedly disabled, you have to take permissions from them, then we can start it. If it is manual, if it is automatic, but still it is not running, then you can start it immediately. No issues at all. Okay, Ramya? Is this clear?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. So guys, go for the break. We'll be back after 15 minutes. Okay, so when we'll discuss other things and all. Okay. Yeah. I won't be available, guys. I'll be in mute. Okay, and I'm going to pause the record. Right, chalo. Okay, so now let's discuss one more important thing, guys. What are all folders will be created when you install SQL Server? After this, we'll create a service account and then we'll change the service account. Okay. So now let me show you. So when you go to this PC, okay, when you go to C drive, when you go to program files, when you install any software, generally a folder will be created in the C program file space. Any software, not only SQL Server. When you install any software in the Windows machine, a folder will be created with the name of the software. Okay. So in our case, if you install SQL Server, a folder will be created. SQL Server folder will be created.
If we install in the D drive, then
same folders will be created. Whatever it is, folders will be created.
Yeah, but in case of C drive, it will create under program file.
See, the D also you can go with the program file. That's what in the morning session we discussed this. D instead of C drive, instance root directory is there during the installation of setup file. There, if you choose D drive, there also D program files will be created.
Okay, program file must be created.
Yes, it will be created. D program files will be created. If you choose D drive, in the D drive it will be created. Okay. Right.
In the D drive, a program file folder will be created. Under this, SQL server will be created.
Correct. Correct. Right.
So Shanmugh, please correct me. For 2014, we cannot change the root directory, right? And after some version, I'm not exactly.
No, not like that. Not like that. Not like that. You can change the instance root directory.
Okay. From
Yeah,
C
you can
to,
change.
I mean, default to
From
any
2000, 2005, I remember. Yes, it will allow us to change the root directory.
But maybe I don't remember. I was doing some installation quite long back, so I was to change the specific this root directory apart from, you know.
You can
So
change it. I
I'm
don't
not
think there
sure
is a
what.
challenge. Okay, so in the versions, but I'm sure that we can do that.
No
Earlier
issue.
versions
No,
also we worked on this. Yeah.
no issue.
Yeah. Okay. So this path, until this path, C program files, Microsoft SQL Server, this path is called instance root directory, guys. Okay. Until MS SQL Server. Okay. MS SQL Server. This path, C program files, Microsoft SQL Server. This path is called instance root directory. Okay.
Sharma, can I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Server in that folder program files, few folders have been created since we have installed SQL Server 2019, right? So that is the reason 150 folder has been created.
Leave it. I'll tell you. Okay. So we are here to discuss those things only. So you don't worry. I'll tell you. Okay. So we'll go one by one. Okay. So you will get clarity. Right. So this is actually called instance based directory. Yes. Just I'm going to correct it. So it's not root directory. It's instance based directory. Okay. Instance based directory. Okay. Up to this path, that is instance based directory. Okay. And if you go to this numbering folders, that is called instance binaries. What is that, guys? If you go to any numbering folders, so that is called generally instance binaries. That numbering we can call it as instance binaries. Okay. And if you go to this instance named folders, okay, instance named folders, this is called instance named folder. This is called, if you go inside this instance named folder, this is called instance root directory. What is this, guys? Instance root directory. So in the instance root directory, generally you can see lot of important files and all. If you go inside this, you can see MS SQL and you can see different folders. There you can see data folder. There you can see all the databases, data files and log files by default. This is the default path generally. If you want, you can change this path during installations, guys. I want to create master data files in one location, master log files in one location, system database data files in one location, or all the system databases in one location, all the user databases in one location. If you want to create like that, you can change the path during the installations. Again, while creating a database, I'll tell you. Okay, again, while creating the database, I'll tell you what and all files will be created, what and all folders will be created while creating the database. I'll show you guys. Okay, so here by using these things, these are generally binaries, guys. The setup files I told you, right, during installation, some setup files will be installed. So you can still see, you might ask, Shanmukh, we installed SQL Server 2019. So in the beginning of the sessions, I opened one notes, SQL Server notes, and we discussed about the versions of SQL Server. So when you install SQL Server 2019, generally build number starts with 15.0, right? This is what we discussed, right, in the build numbers class. In the build numbers class, we discussed 15.0. And during that, I also told you one more thing. Let me check that notes is opened or not. Let me open that notes. SQL DBA classes, right? That notes is SQL DBA classes. Let me go to this and demo. DBA classes. Yes. Yeah. This one. Okay. I hope you remember this screen, guys. I hope you remember this screen. Okay. So when you install SQL Server 2012 11.0 12.0, these default what is this build numbers, guys? Okay. So we have discussed. During the time I told you we'll discuss about these numbers later. Okay. So what are these numbers, guys? So when you install the respective versions, 15.0, okay, that is the this one build number, and 150 is the compatibility level of the SQL Server 2019. So if you see 150 means, that means SQL Server 2019 is installed in this machine. That's how you have to understand the maximum number. You can see Shanmukh, we can see 80, 90, 110, but what it means, 110 means equals to 2012, right? So did we install 2012 in this machine? No. There are some very important versions are there in SQL Server, that is 80. 80 means which version, guys? SQL Server 2000. 90 means SQL Server 2005. And then SQL Server 2012. These are the very important versions in the SQL Server history. Main features and all introduced from these folders, from these versions. So if you see other folders other than 150 that we installed, that means some of the binaries files are created in that 80, 90, 110 folders. So when you install SQL Server 2019, you will still get the 80, 90, 110 folders by default. Why? Because the previous versions binaries are going to be copied to these particular folders. Okay. So, but what you have to understand, guys, if you see the maximum number, so that instance is already installed in the Windows machine. Is it clear, guys? If you see 150, that is the out of all these numbers, 150 is the maximum number. That means 150 means which version it is? SQL Server 2019 is installed. I told you in the morning, without opening Management Studio, I want to check the version and type of instance installed. How we can check it, guys? Without opening Management Studio.
Program files.
Without opening, if you open Management Studio and if you connect to the instance, I can tell this is SQL Server 2019. And I cannot tell whether default is, of course, I can still tell this is a default instance. Why? Because computer name I'm using. Okay. But without connecting to Management Studio, I have to tell that which version of SQL Server I installed in this machine and what type of instance, whether it is default or named instance. If it is named instance, what is the instance name? How can we tell, guys, using these folders? If you see the maximum number, yes, please.
I think summary.file.
Yes, these files will be, the files will be there in this folder. So I'll show you that one, summary.txt files. Okay. Yeah. And if you see this one, this is the main folder. Okay. Your database, data files, log files, backup files, and some other supported files will be stored in this location only. This is called instance root directory. And these are some binaries and all. If you go to 150, okay, you can see setup bootstrap folder, and you can see log folder, and you can see summary.txt file. If you open summary.txt file, in the morning I told you, right, summary.txt files means what? It will help you to track the installation logs. Summary.txt file is very important file. In the interest, they'll ask you, hey, during installation, your installation is failed to install, where you are going to check the errors. Okay, so the answer is the first source is your summary.txt file, guys. What is the first source, guys? Summary.txt file. Summary.txt file is the first source. Okay, so that is the first source where you can find the summary.txt file, guys, in the binaries and the setup bootstrap folder. Apart from this, where you are going to check. Sorry?
This summary file will check in the respective
will be created in the.
I am that if installation fail.
Yes, guys. Yes. It will be created. If they see when you open setup file, very good question actually. When you open setup file itself, summary file will be created. you will open setup file, right click, run as administrator in the D drive. If you want to install instance, what you will do? Okay, so you will open setup file, right click, open, and you will open setup file with run as administrator. When you open setup file, when you just started installing, just when you open setup file, and when you click on install standalone instance, that first option, immediately it will create one setup file. If you cancel that window, in that setup file, it will be mentioned user cancelled. Okay.
Okay.
So when
you have to check the summary file inside 150 or anything.
only
in
150, only 150, only 150. That which version you are installing? No, tell me first which version you are installing.
2019.
Yeah, 2019 means which folder is responsible?
150.
So there is no way to check the other folders. Okay, so you are installing. If you are installing 2017, then 140 folder will be created. There you can check it. If you are installing 2022, 160 folder will be created. In that, against the bootstrap folder there you can check. Okay, so that's how, like, it depends upon the particular version. Right, so even though you open setup file without completion of the installation, if you cancel in between or server is restarted somehow, or in between the installation is dropped, still summary file will be created. In that summary file, it will be clearly mentioned user cancelled the action. You can try it. You can do R&D. Okay, if you want, just try it once. So this is how generally these folders and all will be helpful, guys. Apart from in the interview, they are going to ask like this also. Okay, I checked in the summary.txt file. I didn't get any answer, proper answer. Apart from summary.txt, what other files you are going to use to search the installation related errors? Tell me, guys, what other files you use?
Log files.
See, now only I just opened setup file at 8:59. See the time? 8:59, right? So when I open setup file, immediately a folder is created, right? This is the date and timestamp folder. 2023, August 19th, 2058 means what? 20 means what? In 24 hours format, what is 20? 8 o'clock. 8:58, 12 seconds exactly I opened setup file. That means this one. Okay. I opened the setup file of SQL Server. See here, summary file is created, right? Right? Someone asked, so is it created, right, summary file? So that's how when you open setup file, immediately a folder will be created with the date and timestamp, and you can see that in the particular respect to date and timestamp folders. Apart from this summary file, if you don't find any errors in the summary file, there will be one more file, okay, will be there in the last folder, which is morning I installed, right? At 10:02, I guess it was completed, right? So this is the latest folder of that installation. There you can see one more file called detail.txt. So this is one more file will help you to check the installation's errors, guys. Installation related errors and all. Okay, we can check. First source is summary.txt file. Second source is detail.txt file. Okay. Still, if you are unable to find installation error, see, Shanmukh, there is very big file, how to check the errors and all. You have to simply use Control F. You have to search error or failed, like this kind of keywords you have to use. Based on that, you have to go for 10 to 20 lines up and 10 to 20 lines down to check the reason why it was failed and all. So the first source is summary.txt. The second source is detail.txt. Still, if you don't find where to check, guys, 1 minute, please, 1 minute. 1 minute, I have to open 1 minute. Right, okay. Fine. So the first source is summary.txt file, guys. Second source is detail.txt file. So in that you have to use some keywords like error. You have to use some keywords like failed to install or failed. Okay. Or you can use exception. These kind of keywords you can use search, guys. You can use and you can just control F. You can search for those words and you can just in case of any error. Why? Because we cannot read each and every line. See, very big file this is. Very difficult to read each and every line. So you have to use like failed or error or like this, you have to use some keywords, guys. So apart from these two files, where you will check after this, you don't find in the summary, you don't find in the detail.txt also. What is the other place to check, guys? We have one more source called event viewer. How to open event viewer? Type this. This is event Windows level logs will be tracked in the event viewer, guys. If you click on Windows, you can immediately see event viewer. This is one way to open event viewer. Otherwise, you can use a shortcut called Windows R EVENT. I'm sorry, EVENT VWR. Okay. So this is one more shortcut you can use to open event viewer, guys. So in the event viewer, very important, guys. As a DBA, you should have knowledge on this event viewer. Go to Windows logs, go to application logs. There you can filter the SQL Server logs. Okay. You can filter the current. Here, everything will be logged related to all the services in the Windows Server. Don't think this is for SQL servers, guys. This is Windows level log. Everything related to all the applications will be logged inside the Windows level logs. Okay, you can see here some of the application source, you can see SQL servers, some of them source, you can see some other applications and all. See, you can see MSI installer, restart manager, security SVP, MSDTC, like this. You can see different sources. You have to just click on filter current log and you have to choose critical warning errors and all. And here in the event sources, you have to choose SQL server and all. Okay, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. There you can see PQRS, right? PQRS. Okay. Yes, go down, go down, go down. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Here, SQ, right? SQ means you have to go down. So you can use this option. Okay. So you can use SQL Server will be there. SQL browser, SQL service. Sorry, MS SQL Server, right? Go to MS SQL Server. That's what I'm checking. Okay, yeah, you can see here, guys, MS SQL Server. Okay, if you check this MS SQL Server and all, okay, MS SQL Server related critical errors and information warnings and all will be filtered, and you can simply track. In case of any errors are there, you can simply track from this particular. No, currently there are no errors, guys. So that's why you don't see. If I just unselect everything, you can say, or else you just select information also. Then you can see information related files. See, you can see the information related files and all. Everything you can see here, guys. Everything you can see here. Like this, errors also will be tracked. Here, information means it's just an information. But you can also see error. Here it will show you errors, guys. Okay. So how it will be like this? I'm going to uncheck the SQL Server. And then you can see some errors. Okay. I'm going to uncheck the SQL servers so that you can see some errors, other related errors and all, just to show you how the errors will be. Okay, Okay, so I'm checking this information and a lot of things I'll get it. In case still any errors are there, you can just search like this. There are no errors. Till now, there are no errors logged, guys. So if any errors are logged, you can see the list here. So 3 places you will use. First is, tell me, guys, what is the first source? We'll check the installation errors. Summary.txt file. Next,
details.
Where we can see these 2 files, in which folders. They will ask you guys in the entry in which folders we can see these 2 files. Sorry, in the binaries, instance binaries. Binaries means 150 folder, 140 folder, like that, whatever instance you are using. Under binaries, in the setup bootstrap folder, under log folder, we can see date and timestamp folder. In that we can see these files, summary.txt and detail.txt, and even configuration file.ini. Morning we discussed it. Someone asked about the command. Where is the command stored? Okay, It will be stored in the configuration file.ini, guys. It will be stored in the configuration file.ini. So under the configuration file.ini, you can see what and all options you have selected during the installation. So everything will be tracked. This file will be actually called into the command prompt, and the inputs that you gave, that you selected during the installation. Okay, every input, this is the command actually, update, use Microsoft updates. Every input will be used.
Parameter here.
Sorry?
In future, if it some parameter, can we change here?
Yes, we can do that. We can do that. See, these and all features you selected, right? So features, guys, go to my old videos in the same channel. So we can install SQL Server in multiple ways. How many ways, you know? Can anyone guess in how many ways we can install SQL Server, guys? Guess it. How many ways we can install SQL Server? Guess it, guys.
Through configuration file, through setup files.
We can install SQL Server in 5 or 6 ways, guys. Through GUI, through command prompt, through INI based installation, through SQL prep, SQL preparation, through what is that? We have one more option called instance preparations. Sysprep, guys, system preparation. Okay, slipstream. Okay, another instance called slipstream. Through GUI, one, command prompt, second one, INI based installation, third one, sysprep, fourth one, slipstream, fifth one. All these things we discussed in our previous videos. Now we are not going to discuss all those things. Why? Because we will use only GUI based installations. Okay. So
Sir,
if you
is there
want
any
to,
video? Sir, is there any video?
just go and check in our previous in our channel itself. You can check it, guys. Okay.
Can you share the link?
No, go and check in my channel. Okay, just simply type, go to my channel. Okay, how to search in my channel? Very simple. Go to the channel. Okay, go to this about. Okay, you can just again click here. You can search here slipstream. You can see here. See slipstream related video, slipstream installation, installing SQL Server using slipstream. Okay, so like this, you can see sysprep. Okay, you can see here sysprep installation. See here, you can see sysprep
So
installation. Not required. If you need extra knowledge and all, if you have enough time to learn extra things and all, you can just go and check it. But generally, it's not required. No one will ask you, hey, install using sysprep, install using slipstream. Only GUI based we will use. Okay. Right, guys. So see, INI based is also one file. Using the INI based file, we will create our own commands in the INI file, and we'll call this INI file. That also discussed in our channel. So you can just go and watch it. Just type INI based installation. So or else command based installation. You can see here INI based installation for 2008. And what is the other installation age? Command based installation. Okay, so you can see here using command prompt, install SQL Server 2017 or 2019 using command prompt. So you should know the command to install. So in this video, I even added the command also. See here, command to install SQL Server 2017 or 19 setup.exe qs I accept license terms actions equal to install feature is equal to SQL engine replication full text. So this command you have to run in the command prompt. Immediately SQL Server will be installed. Go through it, you will get some extra knowledge, guys. But it's not mandatory to learn all these things based on your interest only. Okay, right? So INI based is one way. Like whatever commands we want to include, we'll include in one file, and we'll save that file with .ini, and we can call that file in the command prompt so that SQL Server will be installed. Okay, so all these methods.
Find all these commands.
Sorry.
Where can we find all these commands?
Google only. You can find everything in Google only. There is no specific website where you can see everything. Okay, so generally, if you know some terminologies, you can just Google it. Okay, fine, guys. right? So these are the files and folders will be created when you install the SQL servers, guys. Okay. So this is what we want to discuss. And one more thing quickly, let's discuss about the service account, how to change the service account and all. So in the morning,
Then,
we discuss. Tell me.
In the error log file also we give the details, right? We can.
In the error log file also.
Details related.
Your voice is breaking actually.
Saying in the error log file, the details like the SQL service account and data related to the SQL server.
Not sure exactly. Means in the error log file, we can mention the service account and all you're saying. First of all, maybe due to my internet or your internet, your voice is breaking. If you're able to type your question in the chat, I'll check and I'll update you. Okay. Yeah, guys. Okay, so let's discuss about this. Yes, please.
Sorry, Sushil.
In error log, we can see the instance related details. Yes, Salman, we can see. I'll show you. There is a separate class in error log also. We'll discuss one by one. Okay. But the thing is, see, when you can see error log generally, when you install SQL Server, you can see error log, right? So there, that means SQL Server is already installed. When you try to open direct error log, have you ever tried opening direct error log? Right? No, right? So after installation means what kind of errors will get it generally? Normal errors, not instance related or installation related errors. Are you getting my point, Salman? So not installation related errors. You can still you can search, but you can see in the error log, but not complete information in the error log. Very basic information you can find in the error log. Yeah. Okay. Right. So let's continue the discussion, guys. Just give me 15 minutes. We'll complete this service account. Then we can continue the questions. Okay. Right. So service account, what service account will do? We discussed in the morning session. Service account is an account which will help to run the service. And it will also read the data from the disk, write the data to the disk on behalf of every service. One service account will help us to read the data and write the data. And we even discussed as the antivirus example. In the same way, if SQL Server wants to read the data from the disk, wants to write the data to the disk, we need one account called service account. There are different types of service accounts. Default service accounts, which is local system, local service, network service. Virtual service accounts, based on the instance name, SQL Server will allocate virtual service accounts. Customized service accounts also there. So we will prefer to use customized service accounts in our organization. We don't use default or virtual service accounts. I told you what is the challenge with the default service accounts. Default service accounts are already busy with the existing services. So there might be some performance issues if we allocate same default service account to the SQL servers. So I'll recruit my own servant for that. That servant is called customized service account. So for that, what we can do is generally where we can see the service account, guys. If you go to services.msc, the last column you can see service account. Okay. NT service, you can see for SQL Server, it is showing NT service. And for this agent, it is showing SQL Server agent NT service. So these two are main service accounts. We will change the service accounts to database engine and agent services only. We don't change it to full text. We don't change it to this CIP service and all. We will use only these two services. These are the two main services. So we'll change the service accounts only for these two services, guys. Okay, SQL Server and SQL Server agent.
Then can we change all the software SQL Server?
You can try. Just try it and let me know. Okay. Just try it and let me know. So you can use these two services okay, to change the service. Mainly we'll concentrate only on these two. We don't change in the organization also, we don't change full text and other services and all. Okay, so generally I told you, okay, if you have our own servant, they will concentrate on our things first. Okay, so if we are installing Windows Server only for the purpose of SQL Server, so it has to give first priority to SQL Server other than other services. So that's why it's very important to use customized service accounts in the organization. Okay, right. So how to create a customized service account? Now I am creating a customized service account in my local server, guys. In the organization, we will have a separate setup called domain, Active Directory, a common server which will be used for the security purposes, centralized server for the security, that is called domain server. That will be discussed, okay, after the what we can say, when we are starting advanced concepts. Okay, we'll create a domain and we are going to create domain service accounts and all. So as of now, we don't have domain and we don't know what is domain and all. So as of now, I'll create a local account in the Windows server. So where I can create accounts in the Windows server, we can use one shortcut called lusrmgr.msc. Okay, just open lusrmgr.msc. Users, I am going to create one new user. So what is my user account? I don't give like a common name like Shanmukh or Salman, nothing like that. I'll use, that is also user only, but I'll use some generic name as a service name. SQL _ I'm going to add PRD, means production service account, SVC ACT. Just a generic service account name. Okay, so what we can do, add one strong password. I'm adding DBA@123. I told you, right, whatever it is, throughout our practice, we'll use only a common password, DBA@123, a strong password. So for this, the password shouldn't be expired, guys. So, and it shouldn't ask to change the password next time. For that, I'm going to uncheck this one. And guys, don't worry about this. Creation of accounts will be taken care by the Windows team. Okay, so we don't do this in the organization. We don't do this step in the organization. What is that step? Creating accounts. Changing service accounts is our responsibility only. But creation of accounts will be done by Windows team only. Okay, so you don't worry about these steps, guys. Okay, so first they will create the account, they will inform to the DBA team, then only will change the service account. Okay, imagine I am a Windows guy as of now. So I'm creating this account. User cannot change password. Service account password can never expire. So if the service account password is expired for every 3 months or 2 months, your services will be down, guys. Okay, so that's why I'm selecting these two options. Even Windows team also will select those two options. Close it. This is the account which was created now. What I have to do, this service account should be local admin. Why? Because I told you, right, this service account has to read the data from the disk, write the data to the disk. So it has to access the drives. It has to access the folders. All the folders it has to access with unlimited permissions. So who will have unlimited permissions, guys? Your administrator will have. So I have to make this account as an administrator. How to do that? Go to groups, double click on administrators, add the recently created service account here. Just type SQL. You can see the accounts that will start with service. Okay, I don't see any account. Okay, so let me try all the things. SQL _ PRD _ SVC _ ACP. Let me check names. Now I got it. Computer name / account name. Click OK and apply OK. So now this account became local administrator. Now go to services.msc, guys. Okay, go to main service. Okay, double click on main service, go to logon section. Now it is running with anti-service MS SQL Server, right? Browse. Here I am going to add SQL _ PRD. Check names, not getting. Let's add the complete name, SVC ACT. Now check names. Right, now you got the account, right? Click OK. Now you have to give the password, guys. Password, what password I'll give? Tell me, guys. Do I need to give a new password? What password I have to give?
I think admin password.
Yes, while creating this account, I gave one password, right? DBA@123. That password I have to give. This is not new password again, okay? So while creating this account, I gave the password, right? That password you have to give. Apply, okay. So the account, yeah, that's fine. So the new login, see what it is saying? The new login name will not take effect until you stop and restart the service. Click OK. What it is saying? What is the meaning of that sentence, guys?
We have to restart the SQL server.
Correct. So in the organization, we don't change the service account whenever we want. Why? Because to take effect, we have to restart. Restart means downtime activity. Downtime activities means we need approvals. So after installation, immediately, either during installation, we will add the custom service account, or after installation, before going into the live environment, we'll change the service account. See here, earlier you see MS SQL Server, now it was changed. In the same way, I'll change it to agent as well. Go to agent service, double click, go to logon section, type SQL underscore PRD underscore SVC underscore ACT, check names, click OK. Shanmukh, you give very big name. Can I give one very small name? SQL SVC, we can give. We can give with the three word, what is the three letters also. Okay. Just to reflect the real-time environment, I gave account name like this. DBA@123 tab DBA@123. Apply. Okay. Click OK. Click OK. Done. See here. Change, right? So to take effect, restart the service. With the agent also restart it. Done. This is how we'll change the service accounts, guys. But don't change it for the live environment. In case if there is a situation that you have to change it, take the approvals, raise a change request, make sure you have enough approval to restart the SQL server. Once everyone approved, then proceed with this activity. This is how we'll change the service accounts. Why I can see dot in front of the account? Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of dot? What is the meaning of dot?
Local user.
No.
Machine name.
Dot means server name, guys. So host name, sorry, host name. See here, I can see while connecting. Okay, while connecting to the instance, instead of this much big name, I can give dot and I can connect. What it means? Did I install any instance with the dot name? No. Dot means in Windows terminology, dot means computer name. So when you create an account, it was created with computer name / service account, right? So instead of adding computer name, they simply added dot. Okay. Hello, this is how we'll change the service account. But
sorry, can you explain again? Why dot?
Dot means computer name, sir. That's it. Dot means computer name. Instead of computer name, it's just dot is showing here. That's it. And here also, while connecting to default instance, instead of giving the whole
IP address?
You can add.
Service account part.
Sorry, I didn't get you. IP address?
The service account part, where you pass the store the username. Can you go there?
Okay.
Yeah. Instead of dot, we can pass IP address here.
Do one thing. I guess you have a lot of questions. Do just R&D. Okay. So we have a lot of time, right? Just do R&D. The answer I know, but just do R&D. Whether we can add IP address instead of host name or not. Just do R&D. I'm not saying, say I can tell yes or no, but still better what we can do is like if you do more R&D and all, you'll get more knowledge. Okay. So answer is, now I'll tell you, but generally you cannot add IP address. So only host name you can add it. Okay. But still, if you have any such kind of things, just do R&D. Okay. Right. So yes, guys. Okay. So this is how we will change the service accounts. This is how we will change the service accounts, guys. And again, this is a downtime activity. Be cautious while changing the service accounts. If it is a new server, no issues. Very new server, it is not yet live. You can do that. Okay, you can change it without having any approvals. But if it's already running instance, it's already live. Due to some reasons, you have to change the service account. In that case, take proper approvals, change the service account, and restart the SQL server. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions, please? Questions? Are we good, guys? Yes, are we good? Any questions, please? So tomorrow morning we'll discuss, okay, other things like SSMS installation.
Just one more question.
Yes, please. Tell me.
Why we need to change this? Just you can explain.
Why we need to change the service account?
Yeah.
We have already discussed, Shabir. We have already discussed why we need to change the service account. I told you, like, if I have multiple servants, okay, I have already multiple services are there, and I have only 3 default servants are there. So if 3 default servants can support multiple services, again, if the same, I'll give you an example. You are staying in room or PG or family?
I'm with family.
Yeah. Have you ever stayed in room with friends?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, done. So how many of you are there?
Around 5.
5 members. Very good. So you have maid?
Yeah.
Maid. Very good. So if 6th person is added, don't you think your maid will get extra work? Right? If 6th person is added to your 5 members, or 7th person, 2 more people are added. Currently, your maid is supporting 5 people. Like whatever work is there, she can complete in 1 hour.
Correct.
If 2 more people are added, she can complete the same work in 1.5 hours.
No, yeah.
Right?
Half an hour.
Agreed. Half an hour on an average. Already lot of services are there. Those services are already running with the default service accounts. This is the maid.
Okay.
Imagine. So what I will do, Shabir, for you, you have to go to office. So it is taking 1.5 hours to complete the work. Then only you can take the box and all to go to the office. So what you decided, no, it is creating some issues. I am getting late to my office. I'll recruit my own maid. You're getting my point, Shabir?
Yes,
I'll recruit my own maid. So what she will do? She will only work for you. Earlier, the old maid is going to take 1.5 hours to complete the things. This maid is specially recruited for you. She can complete the things in half an hour. So no need to wait for others. In the same way, if you are using the regular service accounts that's already busy with other services, your SQL Server read and write operations may be delayed. Okay, but
yes,
if I recruit my own maid, which is service account, especially will work for my SQL Server only. Clear? Yeah, this is how the custom service accounts will work, guys. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Right. Chalo, guys. That's it for today. Thank you all. We'll connect tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. IST. For US people, it will be today evening 9:30 p.m. EST. Okay. For US people, 9:30 p.m. EST, guys. Thank you all. Good night. Good day, guys. Bye.